So, Ivan, can you hear us? So, no, producer one is the host. Oh. So it's still echoing? I think we tried connecting. So the speaker itself has.
Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Ram Ashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview of this Satsang session. If you'll direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior. But only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang, where we meditate in silence. Group session. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice Satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a Satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of Satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ram Ashram Satsang. He was born into a Satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangees. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
क्या हुआ?
I think we can unmute this.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now? So,
Yeah.
yeah, is the voice coming on Zoom?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. All right, wow. So, after long wait, we have finally landed up in person in Philadelphia. So really feeling blessed today. You know, we this year we started with Seattle, then Bay Area, then London, and now here. It's a long time overdue. So I think today, basically, we will practice something that I have been doing since, whenever, and it's something that gives us inner peace, gives us a way to connect within, and there are different types of meditations, but what Guru Maharaj, my grandfather, started was a revolution in terms of um, finding peace within our normal lives in a way that it's absolutely uncommon, something that people wish, but these methods, I think, have faded away. So he kind of reignited a practice which is based on scriptures but is tuned to today's lifestyle. So before I talk more, I think let's, Guru Maharaj, who founded Ramashram Satsang Mathura and packaged this process for us. So in normal busy lives, you can practice something that can take you all the way to enlightenment, because that's how he learned, whatever he learned from his guru, he packaged in this practice that we will do. So before we go any further, let's, just a glimpse of the founder, Guru Maharaj, Dr. Chaturvedi Sahaj.
Namaskar everyone. Let me say a few words about Guru Maharaj. To totally represent him in words is impossible, what I'll be saying. So the self-realized from Dr. Chaturvedi Sahaj's teachings are based on his experiences during his spiritual journey. Before going into the message, a few words about the message. On November 3rd, 1883, in Eta, a small town in the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, a noble soul took the human form of Paramsant Dr. Chaturvedi Sahaji, who would give the world a sadhana geared towards self-realization and establish the Ramashram Satsang Mathura to make the sadhana available to us, to all. As a student, he studied Urdu, Farsi, English, Hindi, and Sanskrit. He also studied homeopathic medicine and practiced medicine primarily as a selfless service. Most of his patients were poor, but he treated them with grace and gave them medicines without taking any fee. Even before his spiritual journey was revealed, Guru Maharaj was always there for whoever asked for his help. During an epidemic outbreak, Dr. Chaturvedi Sahaji met the great sage Sri Lalaji Maharaj, whom we call Dada Guru, who took him under his wings. Inexplicably, one day Dada Guru had Dr. Chaturvedi Sahaji do the sadhana in his presence, and during that session, Dr. Chaturvedi Sahaji covered the entire spiritual journey and got to the pinnacle. Dr. Chaturvedi Sahaji was now a self-realized sage. There were no verbal lessons, no scriptures had been read, no hour-long scholarly discourses were given. Knowledge simply passed from master to disciple. The Guru-disciple tradition seemed re-established in all its majesty and grandeur. In 1919, Dada Guru instructed his disciple, Dr. Chaturvedi Sahaji, to make this system of meditation, the sadhana, available to all. Guru Maharaj followed his master's instructions and upholding the principles of the teacher-disciple tradition, brought the honored institution of his master's message to the masses. This sadhana, or meditation, which was previously little known or misunderstood, was made available to all. The satsang took root with Guru Maharaj imparting the spiritual knowledge and teaching the sadhana to all without any discrimination between deserving and non-deserving. In 1930, Guru Maharaj established the Ramashram Satsang at Eta, his birthplace. Soon after founding the Satsang, he published the Hindi monthly journal Sadhan. In August 1933, we just celebrated 90 plus years of uninterrupted publication. 90 years of uninterrupted publication. Guru Maharaj traveled extensively throughout India, writing several books, including a monumental 7-volume book based on his own experiences. His numerous books have helped spiritual aspirants and are a great source of inspiration. While doing all this, he lived the life of a family man, fully and unshakably, with a daily life marked by normalcy. He set an excellent example of how to combine spiritual idealism with family life. Serving his wife and children to the last, he mindfully attended to all formal duties, all familiar duties. Param Sant Dr. Chatru Sahaji illustrates the life of one who lived in the divine consciousness and manifested that divine consciousness in life. Guru Maharaj illustrates the life of one who lived in the divine consciousness and manifested that divine consciousness in life. As versatile a genius as Paramchand Samarth Guru Dr. Chatru Sahaji was, and as varied as his activities were, it is impossible that a complete picture of that mighty soul be given in a limited time frame. The attempt here is to provide a glimpse into the life and message of Guru Maharaj.
Day of technical difficulties.
Okay, now let me get back. The attempt here is to provide a glimpse into the life and message of Guru Maharaj, a source of great inspiration to many in their individual and collective life. The message of a born sage or messenger of God is twofold. He renews and confirms the essential of the old revelations in the scriptures. He also serves as a center of divine grace to his disciples, especially to those who intuitively or mystically recognize him as an embodiment of God and therefore bear unto him the same devotion that they formerly bore to God, seeing no distinction between the two. And this is in accordance with the spirit of the ancient sacred scriptures, which is expressed in the following verse. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bhed Vibhagme Vyom Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurte Namah. Translated, salutation to the Lord of divine wisdom, infinite like the sky, who is three in one, as God, the Guru, and the Self. It seems that for one who understands this truth and becomes a disciple and devotee of the sage, it may not be necessary to go to the sage and always live near him. The sage transcends time and space and is therefore everywhere. We shall now attempt to make a study of the fundamentals of as I said, as I translated the slope from Dakshinamurti, salutation to the Lord of divine wisdom, infinite like the sky, who is three in one, as God, the Guru, and the real self. It seems that for one who understands this truth and becomes a disciple and devotee of the sage, it may not be necessary to go to the sage and always live near him. The sage transcends time and space and is therefore everywhere. The sage transcends time and space and is therefore everywhere. The scriptures have received a remarkable confirmation from the experiences which form the foundations of the teachings of the sage, the founder of the Ramaswam Satsang Matra, Samarth Guru Param Sant Dr. Chatru Sahaji. To his followers, his written and oral teachings are the basic revelations, and the scriptures are of value because it is in full accord with those teachings. Now, these revelations are in the Hindu scriptures, but now people have become ignorant of those. That was what Dada Guru told Guru Maharaj. He says, so go ahead and spread it. So that statement is same as the mission of a born sage or messenger of God is twofold. He renews and confirms the essentials of the scriptures. Guru Maharaj, being the worthy heir of Dada Guru, renewed and confirmed the essentials of good old revelations, the scriptures. Now, it's very important now to see that his teachings are not derived from the scriptures. His teachings are not derived from the scriptures. His teachings are the primary authority. Guru Maharaj's teachings are the primary authority, and they confirm, rather are confirmed by the scriptures. He confirms rather than his experiences are confirmed by the scriptures. But even for those who look upon the scriptures as a primary teachings, primary authority, the teachings of a living saint must be of astounding interest. Guru Maharaj's message has 10 principles, basic principles, which can be discussed later. This was a glimpse into the life of Param Sant Samarth Guru Dr. Chatru Sahaji.
So, before we practice what Guru Maharaj actually when he met Dada Guru Maharaj, initially he couldn't even realize that he was meeting someone who was so accomplished. So that is one of the tenets here, that normal people, it's for the normal people, driven by the normal people, right? My father, who served the mission for his entire life, after he retired as a professor in chemistry, he was more busy in the retirement, traveling and having sessions and so on and so forth, and guiding people towards higher ground. But initially I was thinking, so what did I see in him? I actually, to tell you the truth, I don't even, other than the sessions, I didn't even see him sitting and meditating. And normal person. So what is there which uplifts people? So number one, when you are in a satsang, which is where you are uplifted without effort, it's almost like if we had a collective positive energy within each one of us, and that comes together. So satsang is like sat, which is transcendental energy, and sang is to be with. So to be with transcendental energy, which is uplifting, which is positive, which calms us down, all that happens like literally effortlessly in a satsang. So coming back to, so one day I was like very confused, like everybody looks at, my grandfather, my parents. So what was so special? And then, Guru Maharaj wrote books and books and books, which in itself is so amazing. Like, how can somebody have a family, do satsang, travel, and then write all these books? He has a 7-volume book in his entire experience through the spiritual journey. And in there, he says, he quotes Kabir Das ji, Aankh na mundu, kaan na rundu, khule nain niharu. So I don't have to close my eyes. I don't have to, put something in my ears to not to listen. With open eyes, I see, right? So his tenet was that connect with the transcendental energy, right? Through your guru, through whoever you believe in. So connect, be oriented. And somebody then asked Dada Guru Maharaj one day that, I have work to do, I have so many other duties. How can I stay connected? And he kind of said, like, do you eat, my example is you have a phone that's always connected, right? You might be working on one app or the other, but it's connected and updating. Lots of background work is happening. Dada Guru Maharaj said, I'm eating pan, so you're eating something, but I'm signing papers, I'm talking to people, so you can, stay connected. Now, staying connected has multiple factors, like what's your orientation? So like a solar cell, the reflector has to be oriented towards the sun. The connection is very subtle in the sense like it's 93 million miles, but there is a connection. So orientation, connection, and then the energy is concentrated and then stored. So if I had the ability to not only connect to the source of energy, but ability to concentrate it and store it, usko shastro mein patrata kaha. So if I had capacity, how do I build capacity? So satsang does both. Satsang can connect you, satsang can orient you, and satsang can increase your capacity. All together, right? And then there are methods in which, so what we will practice now is a concentrated dose called dhyan or meditation. There is another method called chintan, which is like staying background connected through remembrance or through, in Urdu, there is a word called tabazze. Tabazze is like attention, connection, orientation all together, right? So a lot of times, typically a normal mother would be busy doing things, but the background is like, okay, where are my kids? What are they doing? Etc. So there are ways in which you can do the same thing to stay connected with positive energy. Now, why? Simple, right? If I want to stay on higher ground, which we have forgotten for some reason, on higher ground, I have clarity, I have love, light, and peace. And I can describe that in great detail some other time, but love, light, and peace, if you want to embody, then you have to, manifest transcendental energy, which we will do now. So this staying on the higher ground does a few things for us. So not only it uplifts us and creates this capacity, it's the ability for you to stay positive in negative surroundings, right? So in the morning, have a refresher dose, meditate for 10, 15 minutes and energize so that even if it depletes, it takes you through the day. Once the day is done, refresh, right? Whatever got depleted during the day, refresh and slowly your capacity, your ability to absorb and all that will continue to evolve. So that's the thing, and we will get into more discussion later. The focus here is, if you want to connect to that ocean of peace,
The peace is not outside, so it's inside. So that a lot of people hear but don't understand. If I continue to try to find peace and happiness outside in the world, and which we try, and hence we never get it. So it's inside, you're complete inside. So connect to the source of peace within you. So to do that, what will you have to do? Orient yourself inwards and do some inner pursuits. So antrik sadhan or antrik satsang. So what Guru Maharaj did is not like, there are many forms of satsang, right? There are activities involved, there is, but this one is just simply change your orientation inwards, focus inwards, find, or, the method of how to find peace within you is what we will work on now, right? And that's what you practice, do it in the morning, do it in the evening, and, you will find the transformation is just that much of effort. So personal transformations that I have seen throughout my life, and there are like numerous examples. Yes, meditation, everybody finds difficult, but, satsang is something that when you come together in person, especially like here, you will find effortless upliftment. Dhyan or meditation, which is so, like people say, man nahi lagta, it's very hard for me to meditate. In satsang, typically, you will get to much higher level of energy, focus, and concentration. So let's try it now. All right, so we'll start, typically there are prayers in the traditional session. In this session, we'll start with music. Music helps concentration. But the focus here is to manifest transcendental energy. So take any source or, any belief, and all you have to think about is that this transcendental energy in form of light is right here, right now, right here, right? Upasana is like sitting in front. So this is, a sadhana of upasana, which is like this transcendental light is coming into my heart and getting distributed throughout my body. And I'm getting totally and completely immersed in this light. So before you go into that meditation, two things are important for inward orientation. One, sit in a relaxed but still posture. Because every time your body moves, your mind moves with it. We want to minimize that. And eyes lightly closed, because sensory input does the same effect. So eyes lightly closed and still and relaxed posture. Now, manifest, imagine the dharana where your dhyan starts is that this transcendental energy is right here, right now, in form of light. That light is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you are getting completely and totally immersed in this light. You don't have to do anything. This is art of doing nothing. This is just connecting and manifesting this transcendental energy in form of light. This light is entering your heart, enlightening your heart, and then distributing throughout your body. So you are becoming the light. You are becoming this transcendental energy. Your mind will wander away because that's normal. and mind keeps moving from one thing to another, but we are trying to concentrate it to this observation of this transcendental energy in form of light that's entering your heart and distributing throughout your body. When mind wanders away, all you have to do is once you become aware, bring it back to this thought and this thought alone. You can do other things before and after this practice, but at this time, don't fight the mind. Just let it observe this transcendental energy in form of light that's entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming one with this light. We'll start with music, the music fades away, then we go into deep silent meditation on this transcendental energy, and then we will transition out with music again. Let's start now.
think it was a great session. And all of us will have connected with this collective energy. So that's all we have to do to connect with this inner peace. And you know, where we start, I would call that like initially, we are where a lot of people these days refer to the monkey mind. The monkey mind doesn't let me meditate. But if you practice, and if you have the right method and the right support group and this in-person collective energy and all that, virtual sessions, you know, we have been holding. So once you, anything that enhances your practice, and that practice not only helps you day to day in, you know, imbibing and utilizing this energy levels, but then slowly this practice, if done consistently, takes you to the next level, which I could refer to as, let's say from monkey mind, you come to concentrated mind. Now that concentrated mind, what it does is provides you what I would call mental resilience. This mental resilience not only provides you the ability to fight with day-to-day, you know, upheavals. You know, I heard in one of the talks that they referred to it as FIR. The frequency, the intensity, and the recovery time of your upheavals. So we go up and down in terms of energy, happiness, you know, feeling low, etc. Once you have this mental resilience, FIR happens. So you reduce the frequency, you reduce the intensity, you reduce the recovery time. So now slowly from all those sine waves, now you have even keel levels. And not only that, your inner happiness, so the level of happiness that you feel when everything else is kind of leveled. So what I mean is, like, when there is up, you feel high. When it's a low, but then you settle down somewhere. That's the level of your inner happiness. So the level of inner happiness itself starts to rise. So you're happy for no reason. Imagine that, right? People would say, seems like he's a bit, you know, because these days, inner happiness, which should be with us all the time, is hard to find. But then those who utilize this mental resilience go to the third stage. So a lot of people who, you know, find this practice and become consistent with this practice get to the second stage. But then the third stage is when you transcend your mind. And imagine that. That is very, very hard to find. Because that is when your ability to transcend those emotions, the level is such that, you know, I was trying to translate one of the chapters in this book by Guru Maharaj, and I found one line, and it was like a light bulb going on. I must have read it several times, but this time it just made a whole new sense. And it is like,
with our mind, we are wandering around, barrage of thoughts. There's no peace with those thoughts. But then the negativity also, so mind somehow connects with the negative things much deeper, much more, gets, attached to the negative potential issues, and that then causes worry and anxiety. So if this, through this process, even for a few moments, if you could become thought-free, if you're thought-free, then you cannot go to the past, you cannot go to the future, because it's the thoughts that take you back and forth, and those are causing the worry and anxiety. So if, big if, we were thought-free for a moment in this practice, which people do, then you're worry and anxiety-free. Imagine that. So that third stage is when you transcend some of this daily mumbo jumbo that we keep, dealing with. So yes, it actually takes you, people call it self-realization, enlightenment, and all these things like, oh, this is for somebody else, not me. But anyway, I think this part of these sessions is interactive, questions, comments, thoughts, and I don't know if Arvindji, are you there? Can't see the people who are on.
पूज्य भैया चरणों में प्रणाम, अंकल जी चरणों में प्रणाम.
Just came back from London, and it was a great set of sessions in London and Manchester. So yeah, Arvindji, any thoughts?
Namaskar bhaiya. Fortunate and blessed to be able to join just now, and we were all so blessed in London and Manchester from your visit. And what can I say? It's all experiential, as you said. So yeah, if I may, with your permission, share a few things in terms of mental resilience and cognitive resilience, and ability to live life in a calm and settled and peaceful fashion, regardless of events within or outside of us. So that is really strongly linked with science. I was fortunate to practice for many years, and by Param Puja Papaji's grace, I joined medicine in 1976. And, I used to look after people with neurological conditions. And that got my interest up in terms of satsang and how that affects cognitive resilience. And in that vein, I can briefly share that the latest neuroscience findings show that mindfulness and deep transcendental meditation includes at least 3 components: enhanced attention control, improved emotional regulation, and altered enhanced self-awareness. So actually, and I was alarmed and amazed that there are specific brain regions on functional MRI, for example, in EEG, these neurological investigations have revealed that there are specific brain regions that actually link with those components of emotional regulation. And it has been demonstrated to improve self-control abilities, primarily a human being's behavior, attention control, emotional regulation, and self-awareness. These brain effects are also linked with positive outcomes for body physiology through the autonomic nervous system. The reaction, the fight and flight reaction, the fear, the response to fear, the response to negative events in one's life, they can all be modulated by the brain networks. Now, linking this with Param Puj Guru Maharaj's Satsang, the system of meditation which we just did is actually being now confirmed, in the words of Puj Uncle Ji, who was saying things are being confirmed now. And you said Param Puj Guru Maharaj established this satsang in 1930. There was no modern science available in 1930. All this research is post year 2000. That's evidence available now. So science and neurology is catching up to Guru Maharaj, what he said. So essentially, these experiential benefits of enhanced mindfulness as the practice of meditation, which we just did, includes three primary stages. Dharana, which is visualization of the transcendental energy or sat in the form of light with eyes closed. Dhyan, which is the middle stage where concentration with a singular focus on the transcendental light entering one's body and spreading throughout the body. And ultimately, the final stage of reaching a samadhi stage, which is an advanced stage where the practitioner becomes one with sat, or the blissful transcendental energy, without becoming distracted with events outside and within. So actually, according to Param Puj Guru Maharaj and his principal disciples, one of the key measures of progress in meditation is developing vivek, which is ability of judgment and determining right course of action in life. And as such, positive behaviors, developing the ability to lead a good life, a truly good life without reacting to events such as excessive joy or sorrow in response to life events. I would simply suggest that this has already been published by Param Puj Papaji, Dr. Professor Narendra Kumar Kulshrestha ji's book, Adhyatma or Vyavhar, where he clarifies these facts in full detail. So in summary, I mean, all these key facts of meditation are strongly linked with modern neuroscience. And it is amazing that neuroscience is now catching up with the great benefits that Guru Maharaj's meditation offers. If anyone is interested, I'm happy to share the links of studies. One key link is from the professor of psychology and internal medicine at the Texas Tech University, Lubbock, where the research was conducted. And he summarized research elsewhere internationally and published a book called The Neuroscience of Mindful Meditation: How the Body and Mind Work Together to Change Our Behavior. Also, there are big publications. For example, meditation and yoga can modulate brain mechanisms that affect behavior and anxiety, a modern scientific perspective. So there are so many publications and evidence that even I was amazed. So simply to say, very fortunate and blessed to join, and it's all experiential. So thank you, Puj Bhaiya. Thank you very much, everybody.
So any other questions or thoughts online or here? So then let's wrap it up. So lately I have been thinking about, a lot about what we eat, food. It has direct impact on what you think. And that has a direct impact on what you feel. And not just that, I think the entire physique, mental, like the state of your mental being
And beyond that, like the state of your spiritual being is all impacted by what you eat. Interestingly, there is a book Guru Maharaj wrote on devotion, Alaukik Bhakti Yoga. And that book, actually, before even it goes into devotion, talks about food, how to prepare, how to eat, what to eat, etc. And interestingly, this food has always been part of spiritual and religious practices. The reason is that if you imbibe positive energy in your food before you eat it, so let's say if we meditated and we were at a higher state here, the collective energy was at a higher state, and if the food has the same energy and you consume that, that stays within your system longer than the capacity that we have for the energy otherwise. So it has long-term, practice evolving impact. So there's a lot of so the thing is that in Gita there is discussion about Sat, Raj, and Tam. So food can be sattvic, tamasic, and rajasic. And typically we are running away from sattvic food and we are more into rajasic or worse, tamasic. Tamasic and rajasic food will take you to those states, and hence the monkey mind will then continue to affect you. So any meditation practice, I think a practitioner needs to think about what they're eating, how that is being prepared, and how it is being consumed. So the best thing to kind of transcend all that is to think about your consuming only transcendental energy, nothing else. Imagine that. Anyway, so we'll just meditate for 2 more minutes and make sure that, this food is offered and it has, that transcendental energy that we just imbibed, and when we consume it, it will have that. So 2 more minutes of meditation. So you want to announce anything for the rest of the sessions? Yeah.
So we have another session.
For Rishikesh, if you want to add.
So we have 3 more sessions. 2 are in Royersford, so this evening at 7:30 and tomorrow morning at 10, and then another one at 7 tomorrow here. So at Rishikesh's house. So everybody is welcome to attend. So there will be similar, so we'll have more traditional sessions there. So this was the English version. So we'll have traditional sessions there. We'll have prarthana, we'll have meditation and dinner. So same for tomorrow. So we'll have lunch. So breakfast and lunch. So everybody is welcome to attend. Thank you.
So any questions? Just asking, so that if you. So yeah, practice, and I have been thinking about these sessions for a long time. So finally, it happened. So hopefully, we'll have more of these sessions going forward. And Rishikesh and Shivangi, I think, make sure that people are informed, and let's do it again.
I think one question. I think I already know the answer, which is probably practice. But how do you like? It was really meaningful when you said that you have to keep a still body because every time you move, you kind of break that rhythm. And how do you? Because I was fidgety, like.
So the question, I think I'll repeat for people online, that how do you stay still, right? I think there was one slide I wanted to bring up, but then I cut it short. So staying still and, obviously practice, so practice will make this better. So that was part of the question. So the thing is, it's very interesting when you look back of the, ancient research that happened, and if you look at yoga philosophy, Ashtanga Yoga, so Maharishi Patanjali talked about 8 limbs of yoga. And those 8 limbs have 4 which are integral part of this practice. So out of 8, 4 are meditative practices: Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So we focused on Pratyahar and Dharana to start with. So inward orientation is kind of Pratyahar, and concentration or object of concentration. What do you manifest in your meditation is Dharana, and then meditation itself, and the resulting higher consciousness is Samadhi. But then there are 4 other limbs, which actually are integral to these. But Guru Maharaj said that if you practice, you will be able to deal with the other 4, because asanas and pranayams, integral part. Everybody thinks like yoga is asanas and pranayams. That's not true. That is to make your meditative practice better. So if you do yoga in the sense of asanas and pranayams, you will get better at staying still. It's called, what's the asana? It's Siddhasana, I think, right? The Siddhasana. So my grandmother, it's very, very hard to express normal beings who live at a higher state. How do you define that? So one, she had a photographic memory. If you met her once, you come years later, she will know, by name. And if you had told her anything, she would recall that. Photographic memory. But she also had this Siddhasana completely. So she used to sit on the stage, and once she sat there, if the session lasted 2 hours, there will be hardly any movement. Hardly any movement. That's like, it's a miracle in itself, right? So can it be done? I have an example. And the thing though is that, asanas and pranayams are like breathing can concentrate your mind, right? When you are concentrated, or actually when you're not thinking about your body will get still, right? So attention, where is our attention matters, right? And then yam and niyam, so while I'm at it, yam and niyam are like 5 yams and 5 niyams. So Guru Maharaj used to say that 5 things that you don't want to do and 5 things that you want to do are part of yam and niyam. But his view was that through this practice, if you control your mind better,
if you have better control on your emotions, etc., then you will be able to have a better behavior, right? So also when you practice this, your ability to focus more on well-being will be better, right? So asanas and pranayam. So he used to say that just if you can sit still, that is Siddhasana. That's one of the greatest asanas. And then your breathing gets controlled in deeper meditation, right? So that also, from a pranayama perspective, happens through this practice. So thank you for the question. Thank you.
Is it a good idea to set aside some time for indulging your monkey mind? So set an hour aside and go in the past, future. Be aware that you're going to the monkey state.
So one question here is that, is it a good idea to put some time aside for the monkey mind, or just to observe your mind, or see? I think so Guru Maharaj's formula for that was, yes, 1 hour. So 23 hours, do what you need to do for the family, for the work, and everything else that you need to take care of yourself and others around you. But the 1 hour that you give for yourself for your meditative practice or spiritual practice, that 1 hour, he used to say, just give it to me, like in the sense that during that time, forget about everything else. So that is dedicated to your practice. So yes, observation of your mind, like, so, part of the practice could be that, because, like when, say in a class, especially like, elementary school or, younger kids, if the teacher is not there, it's a ruckus, right? But as soon as the teacher comes, there is a lot more order. So the same thing, if you observe your mind, suddenly you will find that it is having a calming effect already. But the practice we did here takes it to the next level. Interestingly, Arvindji was talking about some research. One of the research that I think early on in 1930, there was a paper that was published that when we physically relax or rest, our mind is not resting. So when does your mind rest? When you actually play some music or meditate. And there is a lot about this. So when you focus on something, focus on one thing, then your mind rests. Because, so just to rest your mind, you need to meditate. So did I answer?
Yeah, I think so.
And one more thing I would add to that is, like, if you find a place and time, so because we are creatures of habit, if you find a place and time, you will find that helps your practice. So for that time, in that place, you will find that place itself you will start feeling, everybody will start feeling different in that place. If you put some place aside in the house, or, make a meditation corner, and suddenly you will find, as soon as you go there, it has a very palpable effect. But Guru Maharaj also didn't prescribe any time. He said this is for normal family, busy people. So you decide what time you want to practice. So anything else before we wrap up?
Thank you so much. Really, really, I don't know. I'm at loss of words. I mean, just coming into this session, I felt it will be, you know, a very, I don't know, it's like, it's a uplifting session or it's a blessed session. I think Rishikesh?
I just want to thank everyone for coming here. You know, I mean, I was not expecting so many people, and we were like, you know, initially me and Siddhu were talking like, if I might come up, I don't know. And you know, so this was great. You know, I mean, and thank you Bhaiya for coming all the way here. And then nothing else for you. I'm hoping, you know, that we can do more of this, but you know, time will tell what will happen, what will happen. Thank you again.
Got it.
Whoa.
We have all
So we can have an extended Q&A session for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who are shy.
I have a question, like how do you say that you could detach yourself from what's happening around you, the ups and downs of life? Like it's so hard, like even as a family with your kids.
So Rishikesh. Repeat the question.
I had a question about how do you detach yourself from it.
So actually, believe it or not, this is something.
That's the hardest part, right? Like
So what was the question? How do you detach yourself from what is happening?
yeah, like it definitely affects you, right? Like big, small.
So believe it or not, it was my original topic. So it was so interesting, and then midway I just kind of see monkey mind, right? We all are dealing with monkey mind, but somehow we keep doing things that only feeds the monkey mind, not the other way, right? It's like, so unfortunately, the culture, the